Joining me is Honorable Ssemujju Nganda in the studio to talk about the FDC boycott. Welcome, Honorable. You have many people would say this was not expected. Why this particular move this time?
I think many people expected it because we have already said we will not be involved in picking guns and seek to change a government through use of guns, like Mr. Museveni did in 1998 after the elections. We have always advocated for peaceful protests and civil, non-violent activities to express ourselves. So it is just the form that has changed from time to time, but the principle remains the same. So today we announced a campaign, Free My Vote campaign, and under that campaign there will be three main activities. One will be self-imprisonment, stay-home campaign, which commences on Thursday, and under that campaign we want to express solidarity with our leader who is being incarcerated for participating and genuinely winning an election. Then the second activity will be the boycott of those who have become the engine, those who are behind the regime and all its activities, whether they are musicians, whether they are politicians, whether they are policemen and military men. So all we have asked our supporters and ourselves to do is that when you see them at a function, you leave them to continue masking in their glory.
Aren't you being bad losers? Aren't you being petty? Ideally you lost an election and you're saying, let us, this is unfair, so we are going to do this. It feels like a high school
we were announced losers in an election that we won. It has happened not only. The only problem with many people is to think that at the presidential level they cannot announce someone who has lost. In this parliament where I'm serving, there are many people who have left that parliament gradually. When we entered, we had seen Katongole, whose swearing-in ceremony was quickly organized. He had lost an election, but he was announced a winner until when the court pronounced itself. And there are many in this particular parliament. We have had more than 20 MPs leave parliament because they were announced a winner. There is winning, but there is also being pronounced a winner when you have lost. And it's an argument we have made with evidence. We are not only afforded the time and the luxury to assemble that evidence to go to court. And by the way, that's the difference between us and the Honorable Mbabas. I respect the decision they have taken. Because for them, they are in court to have an election nullified. For us, we wanted to go to court and get announced as winners.
We'll talk about the petition later, but focusing on the boycott, why would you choose this particular strategy knowing that literally half of this population is poor and they need to work? If someone who is interested in your cause as the FDC is fired from their job because they are not appearing every Thursday, is FDC going to cater for their needs?
Ugandans who want to cause a change in governance must make sacrifices. Besigye abandoned his job in Nairobi to go for 4 years in jail in the jungles of Luwero.
But he came back 30 years ago.
It does not matter when it happened. Once it is your calling, it doesn't matter whether it is in the 21st century, whether it is in the 16th century. Once it is your call, you take it as it comes. So Ugandans who yearn to have a better governed country, a transparent administration, they will have to make personal sacrifices. And that's why we've not said the whole week and every day. We've decided and zeroed on 2 days, Tuesday and Thursday, because we are mindful that we must continue living. So 2 days in a week, you use the 5 remaining days to work and earn a living, and then sacrifice something for your own country. In Burundi, it's no longer possible. We are on the run.
Honorable Ssemujju, during the election, people stayed at home for 3 days, and I know people who are, for lack of a better word, bleeding because they had to come and work.
We will have to make a choice as a citizen to improve our own lives or to continue. I think, I'm not sure whether it is Liberians when they went to establish that country. I'm not quite sure. But the slogan was better war than peace in chain. It's a decision we'll have to make.
Aren't you being unfair because you're a legislator who sets their own salary? No one tells you, no, you can't earn that. You will say, I want 25 million shillings, and you will earn it. And you have a supporter who
I am a legislator.
5,000 shillings.
I am a legislator for the last 4 years. I have been an activist since my university days. Even when I was employed, I still found time to go and make a contribution. And probably that's why people chose me now to go to Parliament. I am not starting this kind of work now that I am in Parliament. It is something I have lived, at least as long as I have been an adult. And not everybody will be a legislator. In fact, I should be the last to participate because, as you said, I set my own salary. So I should comfortably go home and enjoy. But even me who sets my own salary, who, as you may imply, enjoying, I think we can have a better governed country where everybody has an opportunity. And I am offering myself to lead. I don't think that is a crime. So if those of us who seemingly are comfortable offering ourselves, then the downtrodden must come in big numbers.
Is it a crime for musicians to support the NRM and you are
and we have not said they have committed a crime. This is a social movement, so you relate with those who are sharing your pain. We're only telling them, please associate with those who are sharing your pain. Musicians all over the world have played a greater role. In South Africa, many musicians participated in the liberation struggle. Ken Sarayo was killed in Nigeria for writing books. So you do what is in your means to better the lives, and not only your own life, but the lives of hundreds of Ugandans. But if you become a fortune hunter, that in every situation for you can continue transacting deals, even under Idi Amin, by the way, it happened. There are musicians who lost their own lives by making a contribution, but there are also those who made a fortune as a result of praise singing the dictator. So it's a choice we've made. Do you want to associate with those with whom you are suffering, the 83% youth who are unemployed, people who go to hospital and don't find drugs? Even when we live, by the way, this association is almost defined. I don't think poor people live in Kororo. I don't think they live in Muyenga. So we are a society of class. So we're only asking people that if you want to change your lives, you better associate with those who are sharing.
But your critics would say that you are promoting a spirit of intolerance, and so they say, what kind of government can do that? If in Kira municipality your opponent said boycott everything that Honorable Ssemujju does, how are you going to?
I don't see any contradiction. To cause a change, there will certainly be pain. When Museveni wanted to fight in Luwero, it was not holiday in Kampala. In fact, when you read the books, the one of Matayo Charigonza, Major General, you read Major General Pecos Kutesa, they will tell you it was their job to make sure life is very difficult in Kampala. In fact, Charigonza says he made sure that people go to sleep at 3. We've said, okay, that's the pain people went through when it was their calling. We've said we will not take that road. We will choose the simple things. So there are people who have disabilities. There are all the people who elected Kano SJ.
Right.
Said, stay home. It's a simple thing to do.
Opono reacted to your statement earlier. Let's take a look at what he said. Let's just have that clip play.
It is now past 10 days since the results are out. The results on the Electoral Commission website. We would really plead with our colleagues in FDC to stop wasting Uganda's time by making frivolous claims. Government and whoever supports the newly elected government or president in particular, we wait to see the spokesperson of FDC, who is a member of parliament, if he will boycott the sittings of parliament, including his own swearing in. If he declines to take his seat, we wait for that to be seen. Now, about dealing with the government, when you walk on a road, you deal with the government.
When you see that, what's your reaction to?
I think spokespersons of regimes will usually make those statements. You needed to have listened to Sahaf under Saddam Hussein. Even when Obote was here, similar statements and sentiments were expressed. And I don't see anything new that is of an opondo. He's very proud. They have been declared winners. He doesn't mind about the millions that are crying. But we can put our proposals to test. Because I have always urged and asked this government, if you won elections, you were legitimately declared. Why do you remove the military from the barracks, put them on all the hills in Kampala? What are you afraid of? I remember when the President Museveni came here after capturing power in 1986, there was a suggestion from some of his intelligence officers that please stop standing on top of a vehicle and waving. They can kill you. And he said, if the population I am leading wants to kill me, then why am I a leader? I think he must be asking himself what has happened. That the power you have, you were legitimately elected by the millions they claim. You need military and police presence to protect it.
Let me ask you two quick questions. When you preach democracy and then somehow not seem to tolerate, for example, what artists do, if say people started boycotting the gentleman who came up with Toka Kwa Barabara, boycotting all his concerts, and you contradicting your own message where you're not allowing people to choose what they're supposed to choose.
No, I think the message behind this boycott, we're looking at people who have unfairly benefited from the situation that has been visited on us. We are all aware, Member of Parliament, how much money has been siphoned from public, from the Treasury, to go and fund the campaigns. I don't think it is legitimate money that these musicians sign. They themselves know, if you speak to them privately, they know that this is the money. Certainly we do. They know that this is money that was meant for drugs elsewhere. But they were given that money, and I mean, they are responsible. I mean, they are non-caring attitude. Wherever the money has come from, I don't care as long as I have earned it. But we are not asking anyone to harm them. We are only asking people to express their displeasure at what they are doing. They can continue associating with them, but they can at the same time express their sentiments.
Finally, what are you doing in this particular case? Amama Mbabazi has filed that petition. You say you are unable to. Are you joining him in matters of presenting more evidence?
We have made this point, and I will make it again. We welcome every effort by Ugandans, by either individuals or a group of Ugandans who are making a contribution towards a better governed society. If we were afforded an opportunity to go to court, we will be asking the court to declare us the winner, as it happened. The Honorable Mbabazi wants election nullified. That's not what we wanted. That's why we've called for an audit. For us, we wanted to go to court and ask court to declare us a winner the same way they did. You know, Honorable Kaswan had been cheated. And the thing said we should repeat the election. But the court said, please, this is the validly elected member of parliament. But we sympathize and we welcome every single effort. In fact, the measures we have announced do not necessarily have to be the only measures. If there are other Ugandans who think they must make a contribution in a different way, we will certainly associate with that effort.
Honorable Ssemujju Nganda, thank you so much for joining.